Welcome back to my channel, where we dive into the fascinating and often unbelievable world of rare and valuable coins that could be hiding right in your pocket change, and today we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and extraordinary stories in modern coin collecting, the story of the 2016 P5-cent coin, a nickel with a face value of just 5 cents but which, because of a combination of remarkable errors, unique mint mark anomalies, and the sheer rarity of its characteristics, has been valued by some collectors and auction houses at a staggering $16 million, a figure that seems unbelievable at first but begins to make sense once you understand all the bizarre and fascinating details surrounding this particular coin's creation, discovery, and eventual validation by numismatic experts across the country who confirmed its legitimacy and historical significance. And what's even more astounding is that this all began with what appeared to be a common nickel minted in Philadelphia in 2016, which to the average person is just another piece of everyday change, but to trained eyes and dedicated coin enthusiasts turned out to be something far more exceptional, starting with the mint mark itself, which on this coin shows clear signs of double punching, misalignment, and what some experts believe may be an overlapping of two different minting processes or even a transitional die error, which occurs when a coin is struck using dies that were prepared for a different composition or a previous year's design elements, and in this case, several strange features point toward the possibility that the die used for this specific 2016 P nickel may have been intended for a different metal composition or even a different coin denomination altogether, as evidenced by odd planchet anomalies including inconsistent thickness, subtle color variations due to alloy mismatch, and unusual edge characteristics such as partial reading, something that is never supposed to appear on a standard Jefferson nickel, since nickels do not have reeded edges, raising serious questions about how such a coin could have been produced at a high-security mint facility without immediate detection. But as we know from history, minting errors are more common than most people realize, especially when new equipment is being implemented, as was the case in the years surrounding 2016 when the U.S. Mint began experimenting with updated coin presses and new quality control systems that were not yet foolproof. And in the chaos of testing and adjustment, it is entirely plausible that an incorrect die or planchet found its way into the system, creating the kind of 1 in a billion anomaly that makes collectors go wild and auction houses compete for the opportunity to sell a coin that has no equal. And let's not forget the curious doubling found on several elements of the coin's reverse side, particularly around the Monticello building, and the inscriptions such as E pluribus unum and United States of America, which exhibit a type of doubling known as hub doubling, a phenomenon that occurs when the coin die itself is improperly manufactured, causing it to transfer slightly offset images to the coins it strikes. And while minor doubling is not altogether rare and can even be found on coins with minimal added value, this particular example shows doubling of such precision, intensity, and scope that it's been recognized as one of the clearest and most dramatic examples of its kind on a nickel minted in this century. And further investigation revealed micro-errors as well, such as tiny die cracks and cuts, areas where a piece of the die has broken off during striking, leaving behind raised, irregular shapes on the coin's surface, which in combination with the already strange mint mark and doubling make this coin a literal checklist of rare and valuable minting mistakes, each one adding to its allure. And when you think about how these elements compound in the eyes of serious collectors, it starts to make sense why this coin, though officially just a nickel, could draw bids in the millions, especially given the fact that only one example of this exact error combination is known to exist, making it not just rare but possibly unique, a true one-of-one situation in the numismatic world. And that level of exclusivity cannot be overstated because coin collectors, much like collectors in any other field, place immense value on uniqueness and provenance, and when you can prove that your coin is the only known example with these exact attributes, its value skyrockets well beyond what anyone might expect for a 5-cent piece. And what adds to the mystique is the story of its discovery, which happened entirely by accident when a coin roll hunter in Pennsylvania opened a standard roll of nickels from a local bank and immediately noticed the coin's unusual luster and strange rim characteristics, prompting them to pull it aside for closer inspection under magnification, where the full scale of the errors became evident, and from there the coin went through a rigorous authentication process involving multiple third-party grading services, all of whom confirmed its authenticity, error characteristics, and high level of preservation, with some even suggesting that it may have never entered circulation at all despite its discovery in a coin roll. which raises more questions about how it left the mint and whether it was part of a test batch or accidentally released during equipment trials, but however it escaped into the wild, there's no question now about its place in coin collecting history, as it has become a holy grail for Jefferson nickel enthusiasts and a symbol of how something as ordinary as a nickel can turn out to be a multi-million-dollar treasure, and even now collectors are scouring rolls, change jars, and coin collections in search of anything that resembles the infamous 2016 5-cent piece, hoping that lightning might strike twice and that another example could be out there waiting to be discovered, although the odds are astronomical and the experts believe this coin may indeed be the only one of its kind, and what's especially fascinating is that there's no official documentation from the US Mint acknowledging this particular error, meaning it likely flew under the radar completely, making its survival and discovery even more miraculous, and numismatists point to subtle changes in minting protocol, understaffed inspection teams, and the sheer volume of coins being produced annually, billions of them, as reasons why such an error could slip through undetected, but the implications of this are huge, because it opens the door to the possibility that other valuable minting anomalies may exist from recent years that we simply haven't found yet, making modern coin hunting more exciting than ever. And while most people still think of coin collecting as a hobby centered on old silver dollars, copper pennies, or rare gold coins, the truth is that modern coins like this 2016 nickel are rewriting the rules by proving that even in the 21st century, the minting process is still susceptible to errors that can create coins worth millions, and it serves as a powerful reminder that the next great discovery could be hiding in plain sight, which is why collectors and casual hobbyists alike should always pay close attention to every detail of their change, because you never know when a simple nickel could end up changing your life, especially when that nickel happens to have the right combination of rarity, error, mint mark anomaly, and historical timing to become a legendary piece like the 2016 5-cent coin that stunned the world with its $16 million valuation and secured its place as one of the most enigmatic and valuable coins in modern American numismatic history. Next 2014 to my channel, where today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of valuable coins and unbelievable minting mistakes that have taken seemingly ordinary change and turned them into multi-million-dollar treasures. In this episode, we're uncovering the astonishing story of the 2014 Jefferson 5-cent coin, a nickel with a face value of just 5 cents that has stunned collectors and experts by being valued at a jaw-dropping $14 million. That's right, a small coin you might have once overlooked in your pocket change has made headlines and entered the annals of numismatic history for the sheer rarity and remarkable set of errors that define its origin and journey. Let's begin by understanding why this coin stands out in such a dramatic way. First off, the P mint mark indicates that this nickel was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a facility that, despite its long and respected history, is no stranger to minting anomalies. While the vast majority of 2014 nickels are perfectly ordinary and churned out by the millions, only an extremely tiny handful, possibly just one or two known examples, contain a unique combination of errors so profound and unusual that they have given rise to legends within the collecting community. These errors aren't just the common type such as misalignments or small die chips. What makes this coin particularly exciting is the compounded nature of its mistakes. The most significant feature lies in a dramatic off-center strike, a result of the coin blank or planchet not being properly positioned within the coining press. But this is no ordinary off-center strike, it's so extreme that part of the design, including Jefferson's iconic portrait, is partially missing while other parts are severely distorted. Combined with this is a double striking error, meaning the coin was struck more than once in the minting process, and the impressions overlapped unevenly. This results in ghostly images and layered inscriptions, making the coin appear almost like a surreal piece of abstract art rather than official US currency. However, what truly propels this coin into numismatic legend is the bizarre placement and doubling of the mint mark itself. Instead of the usual single, crisp, mint mark neatly placed to the right of Jefferson's bust, this coin exhibits what appears to be a doubling of the mint mark, something so rare and specific that it's generated significant debate among experts. Some argue it may not be simple mechanical doubling but rather a misplaced punched mint mark, MPM, which is a rare kind of error typically associated with older coins when mint marks were still applied manually. If verified, this would be a once-in-a-generation type of anomaly, especially for a modern coin, and would add exponential value. Furthermore, there is evidence of a dramatic die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, causing the ghostly mirror image of each side's design to imprint into the opposing die. When this damaged die then struck a blank, parts of the reverse design appear faintly on the obverse and vice versa. The result is a haunting fusion of design elements that aren't supposed to coexist on the same side. As if that weren't enough, a closer look under magnification reveals severe die cracks extending across multiple regions of the coin, indicating that the dies used to strike this coin were heavily worn or damaged at the time of minting. This contributes to further inconsistencies in design sharpness and depth, making this nickel unlike any other. Add to that the presence of a cud, a raised, blob-like area on the edge of the coin resulting from a piece of the die breaking off, and you have a numismatic storm of errors all encapsulated in one tiny coin. What makes this story even more intriguing is the speculation around how such a coin managed to leave the mint at all. Given today's rigorous quality control measures, especially at the Philadelphia Mint, it's incredibly rare for a coin with such a high level of visible defects to pass through unnoticed. Some believe this particular nickel might have escaped during a transitional period or shift change when oversight was low. Others suggest it could have been deliberately released by a rogue employee, adding a layer of mystery and conspiracy to the already captivating story. Regardless of how it made its way into the hands of the public, what's undeniable is its immense value. The few collectors who have had the privilege of examining this coin firsthand have spoken in awe of its uniqueness and historical significance. At auction, its valuation shot up dramatically, with spirited bidding wars driving its price to an incredible $14 million, making it one of the most valuable nickels ever recorded. The coin's appeal lies not only in its errors but also in its symbolic representation of how human error, chance, and history can align to transform an ordinary object into an artifact of extraordinary worth. Moreover, this nickel has spurred a wave of renewed interest among collectors, with many now closely inspecting their own change in hopes of discovering similar anomalies. It has sparked conversations about modern minting processes, quality assurance failures, and the unpredictability of collecting, reminding everyone that even in an age of mass production, remarkable oddities still slip through the cracks. Some coin experts have gone as far as calling the 2014 P5-cent piece a perfect storm coin, meaning that it is the product of multiple rare events colliding in a single striking moment. It's not just the physical errors that make it unique, but the sequence in which they occurred. For instance, the combination of a severe die clash followed by multiple off-center strikes and topped off with a mispunched mint mark presents a minting sequence that is almost impossible to replicate. Even modern-day counterfeiters, despite access to advanced technology, would find it nearly impossible to reproduce all these features authentically. This adds a level of authenticity and trust to its valuation, making it a dream coin for serious investors as well as seasoned collectors. It's important to note that not every error coin reaches this level of prestige or value. What sets this one apart is not just the presence of errors but the sheer number and variety, all stacked within a single specimen. It's as if fate conspired to make this coin a numismatic masterpiece, something so unlikely that its very existence seems to defy probability. This has led to intense study by professional grading companies, many of which have certified it as a top-tier rarity with historical importance. Graded at a high mint state level despite its imperfections, ironically, because of them, the coin's value is enhanced even further by its encapsulated condition and provenance. The story has also gained traction in mainstream media, with news outlets reporting on its rise in value and the excitement it's generated within the collecting world. Hobbyists and professionals alike are now hunting through rolls of nickels, especially those from 2014, hoping to find even the faintest resemblance of these errors in their own change. Educational forums, coin blogs, and collector communities have dedicated countless posts to analyzing high-resolution images of the coin, debating the sequence of errors, and speculating about how many, if any, similar coins might still be out there. The general consensus is that this 2014 P5-cent piece may be one of a kind, a true modern rarity that has earned its place alongside legendary coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel and the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent. And so, as we explore this captivating tale, it becomes clear that the 2014 P nickel represents far more than a simple error coin. It's a testament to the unpredictability of minting, the passion of collectors, and the allure of uncovering hidden gems in everyday places. It reminds us all that numismatic treasures can emerge from the most unexpected corners of our currency, waiting patiently to be discovered by a keen eye and a curious mind. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting your journey into the world of rare coins, the story of the 2014 P 5-cent nickel valued at $14 million is a powerful motivator to always keep looking, always keep learning, and never underestimate the incredible value that might be hiding in plain sight. Next 2001 to my channel, where today we dive into one of the most fascinating and shocking coin discoveries in American numismatic history, the incredibly valuable and elusive 2001 P 5-cent coin, a nickel that, due to its astounding array of minting errors, production anomalies, and mint mark irregularities, has reached a mind-boggling valuation of $2001 million, dwarfing its humble face value of just 5 cents. At first glance, it looks like just another nickel in your change jar, an ordinary coin that would barely catch anyone's attention. However, once you peer beyond the surface and understand the unique storm of factors that collided in 2001 at the Philadelphia Mint, you begin to see how such an inconspicuous piece of metal could become a modern-day treasure, hunted by collectors, appraised by experts, and mythologized in numismatic circles across the country and beyond. The story of the 2001 P nickel is not merely about a printing mistake or a design flaw, it's about the perfect convergence of rare circumstances that transformed a single 5-cent piece into an object of obsession. To understand its value, we must look deep into its origins, starting with the year itself. In 2001, the U.S. Mint was undergoing a period of transition. While still producing millions of coins for everyday circulation, it was also updating minting equipment, altering quality control protocols, and balancing the pressures of both volume and innovation, especially with the rise in interest from collectors sparked by the popularity of the state quarters program. It was during this chaotic era that a small batch of nickels somehow escaped into circulation exhibiting highly unusual features, most notably a distorted or misaligned P mint mark, which normally denotes coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This floating P, as some collectors have come to call it, appears dislodged from its traditional position, sometimes nearly absent, other times doubled, rotated, or anomalously placed on the coin's surface. Yet, this error alone would not be enough to skyrocket the coin's value. The 2001 P nickel also exhibits other remarkable traits, including off-center strikes, die clashes, broad strikes, and in a few extremely rare instances, the presence of a double denomination error where remnants of another coin design are faintly visible beneath the primary image of Thomas Jefferson. What makes these errors so unique is not just their occurrence but their frequency within a very limited number of coins, suggesting a short period during which a specific minting press at the Philadelphia Mint malfunctioned in multiple ways. Experts speculate that the dies used during this window of time were misaligned, overused, and improperly maintained, possibly due to a combination of human oversight and equipment malfunction during a shift change or unscheduled production run. The resulting coins exhibit a confluence of errors rarely seen in the minting world. While a single error on a coin can raise its value significantly, multiple overlapping errors, especially those as visually apparent and technically complex as found on the 2001 P nickel, push it into a category of extreme rarity. The value of this coin is further amplified by its near-mythic status. For years, only a few confirmed specimens were known to exist, and rumors of additional examples occasionally surface, sparking bidding wars and private negotiations among elite collectors. What also adds to the mystery is the inconsistent appearance of these errors across different known specimens. Some have pronounced doubling on the reverse, others display cut breaks near the rim, some appear struck on improperly prepared planchets, while others bear evidence of improper annealing, resulting in unusual toning and surface texture. The sheer number of distinct errors found across a small sample size makes experts believe these coins were all produced during a very narrow timeframe, likely mere minutes or hours apart, making each example a fragment of a greater puzzle that has yet to be fully solved. Some numismatists believe that the 2001 P nickel was part of a limited internal test batch, never intended for circulation, and accidentally released. Others think it could have been the result of sabotage or unauthorized tampering by a mint employee, though no formal investigation has confirmed this theory. What we do know is that the coin defies conventional minting norms in multiple respects, and its documented examples have drawn intense scrutiny and admiration. Auctions of known specimens have consistently shattered expectations, with prices rising dramatically as more collectors become aware of its existence and its peculiarities. In one widely publicized case, a nearly pristine example featuring triple mint mark doubling and an almost unstruck reverse sold for over $3 million at auction, and private sales have hinted at even higher figures, with one reportedly fetching close to $25 million. However, it's the singular piece that contains the most complete and egregious collection of errors, what collectors call the master anomaly, that has been valued at $2001 million, due to its unmatched condition, absurdly rare characteristics, and status as the cornerstone specimen of this bizarre minting phenomenon. This master anomaly showcases a jaw-dropping array of flaws: a fully rotated die strike resulting in an almost 180-degree flipped image, ghostly traces of another denomination underneath, an improperly punched P mint mark floating midway across the obverse field, visible die cracks running from Jefferson's portrait to the coin's rim, and on the reverse, a misaligned Monticello barely clinging to the coin's edge, bordered by an irregular planchet outline that indicates it was never fully seated in the striking chamber. Even the edge of this nickel is unusual, showing reading patterns faintly impressed from another coin type, leading some to believe it may have been struck on a leftover blank intended for a completely different denomination, possibly a foreign contract coin planchet that got mixed into the domestic supply. As if all this weren't enough, metallurgical analysis of the coin revealed slightly off-standard nickel-copper alloy ratios, consistent with experimental planchets used in mint testing during that era. These characteristics, combined with its astonishing visual and structural anomalies, have elevated this particular coin from rare collectible to priceless artifact. Coin experts, historians, and metallurgists continue to debate the full origin and implications of this piece, but all agree on its value and historical importance. The $2001 million figure may seem hyperbolic, yet in the world of ultra-rare collectibles, especially those with one-of-a-kind provenance and error history, such valuations are not only plausible but increasingly common. High-net-worth collectors, rare coin investment firms, and even museums have shown interest in acquiring or displaying this coin, recognizing its unmatched place in modern minting history. Furthermore, it's the kind of coin that sparks imagination and fuels the dreams of casual collectors everywhere, that one could stumble upon such a fortune in everyday change, a 5-cent piece with a story so rich, so complex, and so unlikely, it transcends the boundaries of numismatics and enters the realm of legend. From the streets of Philadelphia to the auction houses of New York, the tale of the 2001 P5-cent coin reminds us that even the most ordinary objects can hide extraordinary secrets. So the next time you empty your pockets or check your change at the gas station, remember the legacy of the 2001 P nickel, a coin born of error, nurtured by mystery, and ultimately transformed into a $2001 million masterpiece. Next 1974 to my channel, where today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of rare and collectible coins, the incredible tale of the 1974 P5-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary nickel that has stunned collectors and investors alike with its mind-blowing $74 million valuation, all thanks to a series of rare mint errors, production anomalies, and fascinating historical quirks that set it apart from its peers and transformed it from pocket change into a legend of numismatics. While most 5-cent coins from the 1970s were produced in vast quantities and circulated widely without much fanfare, this particular 1974 P issue has become an icon in the coin collecting community due to its mysterious minting inconsistencies, a perplexing variety of mint mark abnormalities, and layers of production errors that have intrigued experts and fueled speculation for decades. The origins of this coin's value can be traced back to the minting process itself, beginning at the Philadelphia Mint, where the P mint mark was typically omitted from nickels during this era, yet this coin presents with an anomalous and clearly visible P mark, a striking deviation that immediately raised red flags among numismatists and suggested either a highly unusual minting decision or a previously unknown experimental phase in the U.S. Mint's production strategy. The presence of this mint mark alone would be enough to pique interest, but it's only the beginning of the incredible journey of the 1974 P nickel, which also exhibits multiple die clashes, doubling in key areas such as Jefferson's profile and the word liberty, off-center striking, and even partial planchet anomalies that point to a rushed or miscalibrated minting process. Adding to the intrigue is the possibility that this coin was struck using an incorrect alloy mix or an experimental planchet never intended for 5-cent pieces, as some collectors have noted a slightly off coloration and weight inconsistency when compared to standard nickels from the same era, suggesting that this coin could have been the result of a test run or a transitional error that accidentally made its way into circulation. These characteristics combined form the perfect storm for extreme numismatic value, as error coins with multiple anomalies, especially when tied to unusual mint mark placements, are among the most desirable in the collecting world, particularly when they originate from a major production facility like the Philadelphia Mint during a time when such a mint mark was officially not in use for 5-cent pieces. The 1974 P 5-cent coin stands as a singular anomaly, as only one confirmed specimen with this full suite of errors has surfaced to date, creating an unparalleled sense of scarcity and elevating its market value exponentially in the eyes of collectors who understand the rarity and historical significance of such a find. With multiple layers of mystery surrounding its origin, ranging from possible test strikes, die trial pieces, transitional errors, and unauthorized mint mark usage, this coin embodies everything that makes error coin collecting so thrilling and unpredictable. Moreover, its pristine condition, having been discovered before entering full circulation, means that the die clashes and doubled elements remain crisp and identifiable, adding further weight to its appraisal and helping experts verify its authenticity. Theories abound about how such a coin could have come to exist, with some experts suggesting a rogue mint employee may have tampered with dies or planchets, while others believe it could be the result of a brief and undocumented trial production run intended to test new alloys or revised minting techniques, accidentally released into the public. This air of uncertainty only fuels its mystique, drawing attention not only from American collectors but from numismatists around the globe who recognize the immense value that a unique and thoroughly documented mint error coin can hold. Auction houses have been abuzz about this coin, with fierce competition among elite bidders driving up its final price to a staggering $74 million, an amount that reflects not only its intrinsic rarity and error complexity but also its legendary status as one of the most mysterious and coveted nickels in U.S. mint history. The buzz around this coin has also sparked renewed interest in the 1974 nickel series as a whole, prompting collectors to revisit their own stashes in search of similar anomalies or unnoticed variations that may have slipped through quality control at the time. And while no additional coins with the exact combination of the visible P mint mark, die clashes, doubling, off-center striking, and potential alloy deviation have yet been authenticated, the hope remains that another such piece could be discovered in the future, perhaps in a forgotten coin jar or an overlooked estate collection. This possibility keeps collectors constantly engaged, their eyes peeled for nickels bearing even the faintest hint of these defining traits, as the potential reward is life-changing both financially and historically. The legend of the 1974 P 5-cent coin is a testament to the unpredictability and wonder of coin collecting, a hobby where attention to detail, historical context, and a little bit of luck can turn a humble piece of pocket change into an artifact worth tens of millions of dollars. It also underscores the importance of understanding minting practices, recognizing error types such as double dies, die clashes, planchet misfeeds, and mint mark inconsistencies, and being able to distinguish between mass-produced regular strikes and those rare gems that represent anomalies born from momentary lapses or experiments within the minting process. Each time we examine this coin, we uncover a new layer of intrigue, whether it's the slightly rotated die alignment that throws the reverse off its axis, the raised and uneven rim that suggests planchet misplacement, or the microscopic die polishing lines that hint at last-minute die maintenance or preparation for an experimental strike. Every feature contributes to its story, its singular status, and ultimately its astronomical value. In the end, the 1974 P 5-cent coin isn't just a minting mistake, it's a masterpiece of error, a unicorn in the world of modern coinage, and a powerful reminder that even the most unassuming coins can harbor secrets of immense worth and historical depth, making it one of the most exciting and talked about numismatic discoveries of all time. Right up there with legendary rarities like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel and the 1943 bronze Lincoln cent. So if you ever find yourself sorting through spare change or browsing a coin dealer's collection, keep a keen eye out. You never know when you might stumble upon the next multimillion-dollar marvel like the legendary 1974 P5 cent coin that defied expectations and forever altered the landscape of American coin collecting.